It is Saturday, December 24th, 2016. This is Room in the Trees, a podcast about living life as a creative person and making stuff. Today, it is the day before Christmas, and I've got to get back to the festivities. So, not much of an intro today. I hope you are having a fantastic holiday season, and we just wanted to give you a little holiday special episode today. And here it is, episode 30. Make time for Wassell. Okay. Now I'm recording. Let's see if you can hear yourself.
I don't hear an echo.
Okay.
And I don't see a gecko. I don't see a gecko. And I don't hear an echo. I wonder if we could do a whole episode just in different voices. What would be the voice you would do? What would it be?
It's hard to keep a voice going for very long.
I think I would talk in Edith Ann voice.
I think I would do something like this. I would do the sexy voice.
I could kind of pictured you, because what plays were you in? Like, I could picture you as like a revolutionary sailor. Da 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 da. With the big hat on.
Do you have any people in your life where when you get angry or upset with them, it's easier to kind of go into voices instead of...
That's cool.
That was, well...
What would be an example of that?
Well, I don't know if this is too personal. Sometimes Laura and I, there are certain things that we, there are points of tension. And sometimes they are easier to deal with in character, as it were.
That's so awesome.
It's not like we do intentionally. It's just like this default thing. Like
what?
I don't even know. I shouldn't have brought that up.
Okay, but that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not in Pasadena. It was a rough... I had a wonderful time getting home. This is jumping way ahead, but just dealing with LAX. A really interesting experience where I got there. It was very hard saying goodbye to my mom. It was a beautiful sunny day, and I'm like, what am I doing in Madison, Wisconsin, living there by myself? It's snowing, and I kind of had that fear, like I'm going to get there and just think I'm crazy. So I was driving down. Chris Kelly drove me. He was someone I was in our art class, I think. He has a transportation service now called King Commuter
Really?
King. So he, because
I like King Commuter better.
because he said that a pool guy once told him to, if you start a business, you should use your initials. So, Commuter King, Chris Kelly.
Oh.
I just thought of mine. Shit happens. No. Okay. So I got to LAX, and I had checked in ahead of time. I went to put my baggage in up. There was tons of people. Feeling strong, had my leather jacket on, had a big kind of leather hat my mom. Not really, yeah, it kind of was kind of leather. Felt hat my mom gave me, is it? And I couldn't put it in my suitcase, I had to wear it. Anyways.
So you were all bundled up.
Well, it was like a cowboy hat, like a suede. It was just...
Okay.
Anyway, I get up there and the woman looks at me and she's like, "Do you need a wheelchair?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Do you need a wheelchair? Just go to the end, just over there, and you can take a wheelchair." And I'm like, "Are you kidding? Like, what?" And then I just said, okay. I did.
You took a wheelchair.
I don't know why. I was like, did I just look that? I mean, there's lots of people that look frazzled. I mean, I thought, I don't know, I felt like it was from above. It was the most bizarre experience. Like, they just wheeled me right past a billion people. I didn't walk over there with a limp or anything, and then no one asked me. I thought, shouldn't people ask, like, you know, when you have a handicap parking, like, you have to have something that says, I need a wheelchair, I've been handicapped. Because I'm like, why isn't everyone being wheeled to the gate? But I just said yes. I just said yes. I just said yes. And I was wheeled all the way to the door of the airplane.
You are off to a fantastic start. That's sounding pretty wonderful.
Yeah. It did feel, it was definitely interesting. I just don't know why she asked me. So weird. So weird. But it, you know, a lesson in just saying yes. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, the trip was great. The trip was really great. The trip was, like I said in the last episode, or the episode before last, before I left, I really felt like I had never gone into a trip with such intention of having a really good experience, and all that comes with preparing for what to do that on a deep level, because people, I guess I mentioned in the podcast, this was my dad's 70th, and my parents got divorced about 6 or 8 years ago, I don't remember. And it was just a really sad, hard time, and confusing. And they've been married for, 30-something years and had a wonderful relationship. Anyway, my dad remarried a wonderful woman named Gretchen. And it was just somehow, so I went with my mom to this weekend celebration with my dad in Santa Barbara. And it was the first time I'd been with my mom and my dad together in feels like many years. And it was just something it was very meaningful and very sweet, and my heart felt really, really full, and felt very sincere, and Gretchen had put the whole thing together, and it really felt like my mom let go of something and passed it on. Sort of, it just felt, she gave a beautiful toast, and she acknowledged that sort of Gretchen's was kind of the peace within our family that brought us all together. It's really, really a beautiful testament to her and to our growing family. So I'm saying this all without totally crying, but I guess it helps to tell a wheelchair story beforehand. But
so it sounds like there wasn't the underlying, like, kind of the awkward subtext that there could have been. That's great.
And maybe something, as I'm just thinking about this right now, like maybe something when a family, it made it so much more precious, and I think made us all so much more present for what we were celebrating and how we were celebrating, and that makes like I really felt my mom, like I said to my mom and dad, like, let's take a picture together. I'm so happy to be with both of you, where other years you would just take that for granted, and then now it's like, this is so great. So and it was really, really nice to see my nieces, and I did some drawing with Hayden, and they're in that stage where they wanted to go exploring with me and go can you go in this little explorer? And as a kid, it was just so magical. Like, let's go out this back entrance of the property and sneak around. Mm-hmm. And I really caught myself just being like, step right into their moment. Don't think about, oh, well, do we have time to do it? Or why are we doing that? Or where do they want to go? And it's just the sweetest, that stage of, I'm 7 years old. It's just really, really sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the best favorite things was my best friend from high school, which was the sister to one of your best friends from high school. It was Megan Roberts, sister of Emily Roberts. And she had reached out to me just days before asking for my address. And I said, Megan, I'm going to be in Santa Barbara. And I haven't seen her in maybe 6, 7, 8 years. And she came over that night that I got there. And we had the best time. We laughed so hard. We just dropped right back in. I spent the entire evening sitting on the couch laughing with her, and and she's downloaded Room in the Trees and has been listening to it since that day. And so it was just really, really good to see an old friend. But old friendships are just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that the older I get, the more I value that history and relationships that have been around for, I guess, that have endured that time.
Because Gavin Williams is one of your best friends from that time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gavin and Tom and Joe. Yeah, there's a few of them. So, I think the podcast that we recorded before you came out to California, I know you were feeling anxious about a lot that was going to happen. You were expecting or kind of anticipating what it all might be and feeling a lot of stress about it. So looking back on that and remembering that conversation, I just think it's fantastic that you were able to I acknowledge that you were feeling that way and find ways to prepare yourself and structure your trip in a way that allowed you to have these boundaries that we've been talking about, for the full podcast. And those boundaries and those it's not even boundaries, might not be even the right word, but acknowledging your limits and planning accordingly. I think that created the mental and literal time and space for you to be there, to be present and to really enjoy the moments. I don't know. Does that sound?
Absolutely. And I think for everybody with the holidays, taking a little bit of time to really be clear with yourself about what your intentions are. Like, what are 3 things that you just want to be sure happen? They can just be completely these details, but something where you have, what's the most important thing that needs to happen. And it shouldn't be some grand, like, I bond with this person, nothing that you can't control. But for example, I knew I wanted to be present for my nieces, and because I don't see them very often, and we were just about to leave for brunch and with my mom, and the kids weren't coming, and it was saying goodbye to them. And I just said, and Hayden wanted to draw with me, and I just said, Mom, I've got to, my heart would just hurt if I didn't can we just take another 10, 15 minutes? And it was because I really was clear, like, brunch with adults can wait, when being present for something like drawing outside in the sun with a 7-year-old is just would strengthen my whole experience in a deeper way. So,
right. And to realize that you there's never going to be a lack of things to do and ways to fill up your time, and really potentially valuable, meaningful ways to fill up your time. But to say that this is my purpose, this season or this trip or during this time, and to just fight for that, I think that's a hard thing to do. I see my season, the past several past week or two, thinking of, I see Laura getting all anxious about getting gifts for our kids, and then we decided to do this 12 days of Christmas thing for my parents, and I've got deadlines for this project that I've been working on, and these are all things that feel necessary.
Right.
And they're good things, but I think it does bear reminding myself, I don't know, I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening to you talk, that maybe this stuff doesn't need to all happen right now. Maybe I can just say what's important to me today or this season is to make sure that I spend an hour a day where I'm not thinking about anything but having a good conversation or good time with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so hard to do that for me. I don't know. Everything feels so necessary, and it feels like everything is a priority, but it's that when everything's a priority, there's no priorities, right?
That's really, and I think it does have to do with having children too. I think it's just no joke, having a lot more humans involved.
Yeah. Yeah, but it just highlights the problem, right? It highlights that the skill that needs to be developed is...
Like maybe not doing the 12 days of Christmas for your parents?
Well, yeah, maybe that... We're already...
Yeah, you're deep in.
We're already on day 9, so I think if we were to give up now, we could.
You
though.
could. You could.
We could.
You could.
They would not
care.
Be upset that they did not get... Or we could just give them the remainder of our little gifts for them at one time instead of giving it to them every day. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think once you are clear about your priorities, though, it's easier to see what you can cut out and what you can limit and where you can draw the boundaries. I know one more thing about this. I don't know if this is going on too long about it, but it feels important to me. But we had talked about doing this get-together when you came with listeners of the podcast. And that felt like we had this just, an afternoon or a couple of days window where you could do this, and it probably is not going to have, we're not going to have another opportunity for a long time. So it felt like we should really take advantage of this opportunity. But the more we talked about it and the more you thought about it, it just, I think you realized it as simple as it seemed, it was going to add another load to what was already a very, complicated trip.
Right.
And so, I don't know, for me, that moment was a significant one, because I was thinking like, oh, we got to take advantage of this time, but it was absolutely the right thing to not try to do that. And because we didn't do that, I think we were able to enjoy the afternoon that we did get to hang out and record.
Yeah.
So.
And it poured rain too, and then there would have been like this whole like, how do we reach people and where do we go, and do we not being able to find, and then posting it. There's so many layers. Yep. To that. A
simple 1 hour get together turns into this huge fiasco.
Absolute cluster F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is the season that this is the problem, right? When families coming to town, or you're going out of town, and people are like kids and friends are all needing presents or needing some kind of show of love. Like, this is the time to learn how to do this.
I think, the power of just snuggling time or a special walk, just individual time, can with children.
Yeah. The power of snuggling time.
The power of snuggling time. It's true. It's so true.
I think we need Peter Cetera to sing that for us.
Who?
Peter Cetera. Do you know who that is?
Oh, why is the name's so familiar? It's so cheesy.
Totally. Yeah. Like the power of love, or what are the songs?
God, I just heard that in the car the other day. I hadn't heard that in years. In the the glory of love or something.
Yeah, that one. That's totally one of those songs that comes on, and I crank that puppy up and sing right along.
Yeah, I got like slow dance from high school flashbacks, like slow sway, like side to side. I'm going on my first date this weekend.
Yay.
Yeah. Yep. And I emphasized he had bought a canoe, and I emphasized that that was a real big selling point for me. And also that his favorite movie was The Jerk, which was just one of my top. You've seen that, right? Have you seen that?
I have not. I am ashamed to say. I've got to see it.
It's just a funny, random, funny Steve Martin movie from the early 80s, I think. Late 70s. So that's happening on Christmas Eve. So if it goes badly, then I'm going to always remember that awkward Christmas Eve in Madison. But
so he has a canoe, but you guys aren't going canoeing.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We may go on a little bit of a hike in the, which is an interesting possibility. Outside, he's in conservation and ecology. He restores prairie land, which is really cool at the Arboretum at the university.
Restores prairie land.
I don't know if he restores it, but his skill is in prairies.
I'm sure it's a very valuable and fascinating thing to do, but
I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
My skills are in prairie.
Prairie land.
Prairie land. I'm really good at prairie. With prairies. And
that voice really is disturbing. It's like, yeah. Don't do that. It's mouth breathing. Oh my gosh. What's the whole Santa story you guys are going with?
Well, I grew up not believing in Santa Claus because
Are you serious?
Have I told you this before? My mom.
No way. Okay.
She believed in Santa Claus, and my grandpa was really into building that story up and building up the magic of the moment. And then she didn't find out till she was like 9 or 10 or something like that Santa Claus wasn't real, and she was really hurt by that. Like she felt like she had been betrayed and lied to. So she decided that she was never gonna try to sell that to her kids. So we grew up understanding that it was just pretend.
Huh.
And she had some books about, different Santa stories, but it was always very clear to us that it was not real.
Did you tell your friends that believed like you guys are suckers?
No.
Were you told to not tell?
No, I guess there were times when I was told not to tell, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember ever really being in a situation where I could ruin it for somebody else. Like, I think I just assumed everybody knew that it wasn't real.
So what now?
I think my kids know that Santa's not real and it's just pretend.
So it's just parents buying crap for them.
Just parents buying crap.
Huh.
Yeah. Sorry. That's no magic in that, but that's how
What about
I was raised.
What about the Easter Bunny?
Same situation. Apparently, we're just not very.
That's just sad.
A very magical household.
Don't you know?
Well, how was it with you guys?
It was
Did
just
your
the
dad dress
wonder. No, I've never. No. But we really got in. They were great with writing the letters. One of my favorite traditions, and maybe you can do this because it doesn't have to involve Santa, was every Christmas, my dad, there'd be some present, like kind of the main present, that would start with a string. I remember this every year, and it would wind around the house, up the stairs, down the stairs, into the backyard, back over, under the rug, under the carpet, around, and then lead to some random great present at the end. And it was always really fun to follow the string, and it just took some time, and it was really a fun tradition.
That's a great idea.
I really liked that. And you could do it even going outside of your apartment and down, but it was just a simple like balloon string, and then you could just do it in the morning. It's not very obtrusive.
Right.
So that was, really loved that. We had some great Christmases.
I wish you a Merry Christmas, and
Thanks.
hope it's as magical as possible.
Just a final question about what makes it special then Christmas for you guys? Why the big stress if it's not even like a Santa kind of gift?
There are other ways to have happiness
How?
in the holidays.
How?
We do gingerbread houses. We have music playing. We have dance parties. We
Okay, cool.
have stockings and
But who's it's not Santa's stocking.
no, but they're still getting stuff. It's just as exciting.
Okay.
Yeah, and now I'm totally feeling depressed. We are not providing the magic for our children that a good American. Gotta make Christmas great again.
I just think when kids are little and I know there must be some time to reveal it, but it's just something about when children still have that make-believe quality where they can be like your kids are like, I'm a cat. Like the believing in something, and just that is so rare. When you become an adult, you don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Gotta have more kids.
Too late now. That's right. They'll try again on the next one. No make-believe for these ones. My parents, both of my parents are so not that way.
Yeah.
It's not that they're just very practical people. And I think that practical sometimes means not spending too much time in imagination.
Yeah. There's no practical genes in our side. Nothing ever was practical. Ever. Nothing. We longed for some practical structure in our family. But, yeah. Oh, well.
That's awesome.
You can bring that randomness. You can bring it.
That's right. That's my wish for Christmas this year.
Yeah. Name 3 things that you want to like specific things. What are 3 things that very specific things that you want to do? 3
specific things that I would like to do, and this is just kind of coming off the top of my head, that are like Christmas related, right? Or the season related. So we just got our fireplace fixed so it works after 7 or 8 years of living here. And we've tried several times, but it's been a problem. So we got it fixed. So I would like to have, at least on one evening, maybe Christmas Eve, to sit on our couch with the fire on and the Christmas tree lights on, just hanging out with Laura with some kind of hot, tasty beverage, like Wassell or hot chocolate. And
Wassell? What?
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of that.
Wassell? What? Are you serious? You've never had Wassell?
That's going to be the name of the episode. Wassell, what? What? No, I've never heard of that.
Well, you got to look it up. It's fantastic.
I'm going to try to... Wassell! Wassell! Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Okay,
I'll look it up.
It's really good.
Okay. It's very...
So that's one. Wassell or hot cocoa with Laura on the couch with the fire going and Christmas tree. Second would be, I really just want to be able to relax and enjoy the present opening. In years past, there's so much expectation and buildup in our kids' minds that, like, I don't know, it just always feels really intense. Like, they've got all this expectation, they're going out, they open the gift, and then it's all about, like, just all these feelings of either happiness, or they want to play with it, or they want to move on to the next present. And I'm thinking about, like, cleaning up the paper so the baby doesn't start eating it. And I think I would just like to have a moment or two where I can just sit down and not have to take any pictures and not have to clean up any paper and just watch and soak in the moment. Maybe find a little magic there somewhere.
Yeah.
And the third is I want to make sure that each one of my girls gets a little bit of alone time. And I just want to make sure I tell them that I love them.
Yeah.
You know, the season can go by really fast and everything's fast-paced. It's easy to kind of speed through it without...
What are your favorite things as a dad that are good examples that dads can do that are really nice dad and daughter things?
I'm still figuring out the daughter thing. It is still very new to me, but
yeah.
I guess the most regular thing that we do, they come down to the studio and we paint together. And that's always really nice. I think doing something creative, I don't know, that was not a part of my childhood or part of my relationship with my parents where we were like making things together, and I really valued that with my kids because it's obviously it's an important thing to me personally, so it's nice to share that with my kids.
Well, I think all of those are going to happen.
What about you? Do you have any?
Nope, I'm good. I think I hit them all on the head last week. I think I really I can high five myself right now.
Well done. Well done.
High fiving is just like clapping over and over. Clapping is really just high fiving over and over and over again with yourself. Okay, let me just 1 second. Hold on. So just thinking about the end of the year, just reflecting back on it.
That was easy.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
2016 was not good.
It was rugged. It's pretty rugged.
Rugged is the word. Yeah. Good riddance. Good riddance, 2016.
Okay. So we will be back again probably after the new year.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
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 Feels so good.
Yep. Have a great holiday season. And we won't talk like that. We won't talk like that. Okay.
Hey, I really hope you
No.
enjoyed.
No.
Happy holidays, everyone. We'll be back in 2017. And keep your eye out for t-shirts. Room in the Trees t-shirts coming soon.